darkness. That was the first thing Sienna became aware of. Complete, suffocating darkness. Then came the pain. Her head throbbed where they'd hit her after the chloroform wore off. Her wrists ached from zip ties that had been replaced with rope. Her mouth was dry, tasting of chemicals and fear. She forced her eyes open, blinking against the dim light filtering through a high window. She was in some kind of warehouse. Concrete floors, metal beams, the smell of oil and rust. Industrial, abandoned, the kind of place where screams wouldn't carry. Sienna's heart hammered, but she forced herself to breathe slowly, to think. Panic would kill her faster than her captors would. Show no fear, Tae-Hyun had told her once. Fear makes you prey. She tested the ropes binding her wrists to the chair. Tight, but not impossibly so. Her ankles were bound too. She was still wearing the jeans and fitted top from the coffee shop, but her phone was gone, her shoes removed. How long had she been unconscious? Hours? A day? Ah, you're awake. Sienna's head snapped up. A man emerged from the shadows. Korean, maybe 50, with the kind of face that had seen violence and enjoyed it. Expensive suit, cold eyes, and a presence that screamed authority. I am Hwang Jun-ho, he said in perfect English, circling her like a predator assessing prey. And you, Miss Johnson, are my guest. Guest? Sienna's voice came out hoarse but steady. Guests usually aren't tied to chairs. He smiled. It was not pleasant. Semantics. Let's speak plainly. You're my hostage. Leverage against Lee Tae-Hyun and his father's organization, and depending on how cooperative the Lee family is, you may leave here alive. Sienna's stomach dropped, but she kept her expression neutral. Tae-Hyun will come for me. I'm counting on it. Hwang Jun-ho leaned against a table, studying her. You're braver than I expected. Most people would be crying by now. Begging. You're just calculating. Planning. I can see it in your eyes. What do you want me to say? Please don't hurt me? Sienna met his gaze. Would it make any difference? No. He seemed almost impressed. But most people try anyway. You're not most people, are you, Miss Johnson? An American, yes, but African. A graduate student, an artist. And somehow, you've captured the attention of Lee Dong-wook's heir. Tell me, what makes you so special? I have no idea, Sienna said honestly. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And yet here you are, in love with a criminal, engaged to a killer. He pulled out his phone, showing her a photo. Her and Tae-Hyun at the Han River, kissing under the lights. Someone had been watching them even then. Does he know you see him clearly? Does he know you understand what he really is? I know exactly what he is, Sienna said quietly. And I love him anyway. How tragic. Hwang Jun-ho put the phone away. That love is going to cost you both everything. Welcome back to part 3 of Korean Mafia Heir falls for the black witness. He should silence. One of the most anticipated stories right now. Missed part 1 and 2? Check the link in the story description. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. You do not want to miss what happens next in this story. And drop a comment telling me what time it is where you are. Let's build this community together. While Sienna sat in that warehouse, Tae-Hyun was losing his mind. He stood in his penthouse, surrounded by his most trusted men, staring at the spot where Sienna should be. 36 hours. She'd been gone for 36 hours, and every second felt like a lifetime. His penthouse had been transformed into a war room. Laptops, surveillance equipment, maps of Seoul spread across every surface. His security team worked frantically, tracking leads, calling in favors, threatening anyone who might have information. And Tae-Hyun, usually so controlled, so calculating, was barely holding himself together. He hadn't slept, hadn't eaten. His white shirt was wrinkled, his hair disheveled from running his hands through it 1,000 times. His knuckles were bloody from punching walls when the rage became too much. Hyun, one of his men said carefully, using the Korean honorific. We've located 3 possible Hwang family properties where they might be holding her. We can move on all of them simultaneously. Not good enough. Tae-Hyun's voice was raw. If we raid the wrong location first, they'll kill her before we reach the right one. We need confirmation of which site she's at. His phone rang. Unknown number. Tae-Hyun answered immediately. Where is she? Lee Tae-Hyun. Kwang Jun-ho's voice was smooth, mocking. I believe I have something that belongs to you. Every muscle in Tae-Hyun's body went rigid. If you've hurt her, see for yourself. A video message came through. Tae-Hyun's hands shook as he opened it. Sienna. Tied to a chair, a cut above her eyebrow, bruises forming on her beautiful brown skin. But her eyes were defiant, fierce, unbroken. Tae-Hyun, she said, her voice steady despite the fear he could see beneath the surface. Don't give them what they want. Don't. The video cut off. Tae-Hyun's vision went red. He nearly crushed the phone in his grip. You have 48 hours, Hwang Jun-ho continued. I want the shipping routes through Busan. I want your family's distribution networks in Incheon. And I want a public apology from Lee Dong-wook, acknowledging Hwang family superiority. Or I start sending you pieces of your beloved. The call ended. Tae-Hyun stood frozen, the video playing on loop in his mind. Sienna hurt. Sienna scared, but trying to be brave. Sienna telling him not to negotiate. Get my father, he said quietly. Now. 20 minutes later, Lee Dong-wook stood in Tae-Hyun's penthouse, looking at his son with that same cold calculation he applied. To everything. No, he said, after hearing the demands. We don't negotiate with the Hwang family. It shows weakness, and weakness invites more attacks. They have Sienna? Tae-Hyun's voice was dangerously quiet. I'm aware. It's unfortunate. But one woman, even one you care about, is not worth destabilizing our entire organization. Lee Dong-wook's expression didn't change. She understood the risks when she agreed to marry you. She didn't agree to die for your business interests. Neither did your sister. Neither did your mother. But they live with that risk every day because they're Lee family. His father's eyes were ice. Your woman is no different. If we give in now, every rival organization will know they can manipulate us through hostages. We cannot allow that precedent. Tae-Hyun stared at his father, the man who'd raised him, trained him, made him into the heir of a criminal empire. And for the first time in his life, he truly understood. His father would sacrifice anyone, including him, for power. Then I'm done. Lee Dong-wook raised an eyebrow. Excuse me? I'm done. With the family, with the organization, with all of it. Tae-Hyun pulled off the expensive watch his father had given him, a symbol of his position as heir, and set it on the table. I'm getting Sienna back, with or without your help. And when I do, we're leaving. Korea, the family, everything. You're choosing her over your legacy? His father's voice was sharp. Over your sister? Over everything I've built? I'm choosing love over violence. Happiness over power. Her over this nightmare. Tae-Hyun met his father's gaze steadily. You taught me to be strong. You taught me to be ruthless. But you never taught me to be human. She did. And I'm not losing that. I'm not losing her. For a long moment, father and son stared at each other. Then Lee Dong-wook did something unexpected. He smiled. Just slightly, but it was there. You remind me of myself at your age, he said quietly. Before the empire consumed everything good in me. Before I traded love for power. He looked away. I made that trade with your mother. Forced her into this life. Watched it destroy the woman I fell in love with. And I've regretted it every day since. Tae-Hyun blinked, shocked. His father never spoke of regrets. Never showed weakness. Your woman, Sienna, she survived kidnapping without breaking. She faced me in my own study and spoke truth to my face. She loves you, knowing full well what you are. Lee Dong-wook picked up the watch, pressed it back into Tae-Hyun's hand. That kind of strength is rare. Don't let your pride cost you what I lost. Are you saying I'm saying go get her. Use whatever resources you need. I'll handle Hwang Junho and the political fallout. His father's expression hardened again. But make no mistake, this will start a war. The Hwang family won't forgive this insult. You'll be bringing violence down on everyone you love. Then, I'll protect everyone I love, Tae-Hyun said. Starting with her. Lee Dong-wook nodded once. Then go. And son, make them regret taking her. In the warehouse, Sienna had lost track of time. She'd been there for what felt like days, but was probably just hours. They'd moved her twice. Different rooms, same building. They gave her water, but no food. Let her use a bathroom under guard. Kept her isolated, disoriented. Classic interrogation tactics. She'd seen enough movies to recognize them, but they hadn't hurt her yet. Beyond the initial grab and the bruises from struggling, they'd been almost professional. Cold but not cruel. That worried her more than violence would have. It meant they were serious, organized. This wasn't random, it was calculated. She was sitting in yet another room, smaller, a single window showing nighttime Seoul when the door opened. Park Jin-woo walked in, and Sienna's blood ran cold. "Hello, scholarship girl," he said, that familiar, cruel smirk on his face. "Remember me?" How could she forget? He'd threatened her in her studio, started this whole nightmare. "What do you want?" Sienna asked, keeping her voice steady. "I want to watch Lee Tae-Hyun suffer." Jin-woo circled her chair. "I want him to feel powerless, desperate, broken. The way I felt when he humiliated me in front of everyone. When he chose you, an outsider, a nobody, over an alliance with my family. So this is about your ego? This is about respect." His voice rose. "My family has been allied with the Hwangs for generations. This was our chance to overthrow the Lee family, to finally take our rightful place at the top of Seoul's hierarchy. But you..." He grabbed her chin roughly, forcing her to look at him. "You ruined everything. Tae-Hyun wouldn't even look at my sister because he was obsessed with you." Sienna jerked her face away. "That's not my fault." "Isn't it?" He laughed bitterly. "You could have said no, could have run, could have told him you weren't interested. But you didn't. You let him drag you into our world, and now everyone pays the price." Before Sienna could respond, the door burst open. Yoon Seo-yeon stood there, and she looked unhinged. Her perfect makeup was smudged, her designer dress wrinkled. But it was her eyes that scared Sienna. Wild, jealous, burning with hatred. "I want to talk to her," Seo-yeon said. "Alone." Jin-woo hesitated, then nodded. 5 minutes. Don't damage her. We need her intact for their video." He left, and Seo-yeon approached slowly. "Do you know how long I've loved him?" she asked quietly. "Since we were 15, 10 years. I've waited 10 years for Tae-Hyun to notice me, to see that I'm perfect for him, that our families should unite. I didn't know," Sienna started. "Of course you didn't," Seo-yeon's voice cracked. "You just showed up. Some foreign girl who doesn't understand our culture, our world, our rules. And suddenly, he's looking at you like you're the only woman in the universe. Do you know how that feels? To be invisible to the one person you've built your whole life around?" "I'm sorry," Sienna said, and she meant it. "I never meant to hurt you. I didn't choose this either. But you didn't walk away." Seo-yeon's hands clenched into fists. "You could have. You should have. But you stayed. You let him love you. And now you're going to marry him and have his children and live the life that was supposed to be mine." There was genuine pain beneath the rage. Sienna could see it. A woman who'd spent a decade of her life chasing someone who would never love her back. "Seo-yeon," Sienna said gently, "he was never yours to lose. You can't make someone love you." "No, but I can make sure he suffers for not choosing me." Seo-yeon pulled out a phone, started recording. "Smile for the camera, scholarship girl. Let's see how much Tae-Hyun loves you when your face is all over the news as a criminal's whore." She snapped photos, videos, her smile vicious. "When he comes for you, and he will, I'll be waiting. And this time, I won't miss." She leaned in close. I'm going to kill you, Sienna Johnson, and I'm going to make sure it's the last thing he sees before I destroy him completely. Then she left, leaving Sienna alone with her racing heart and the terrible certainty that Tae-Hyun meant every word. Tae-Hyun had pinpointed the location. It had taken bribes, threats, torture of Hwang foot soldiers, and finally, a breakthrough from his tech team tracking cellular signals. Sienna was being held in an abandoned textile factory on the outskirts of Seoul, Hwang family property disguised under shell companies. Now, at 2 a.m., Tae-Hyun and his team of 12 men surrounded the building. He was dressed in all black tactical gear, armed with a handgun and knife. His face was a mask of cold determination, but inside, his heart was screaming. Hold on, Sienna. I'm coming. Just hold on. Team Alpha, East Entrance, he said into his comm. Team Beta, West. I'm going through the South loading dock. Wait for my signal, then we move simultaneously. Rules of engagement. Anyone who resists gets put down. Priority 1 is getting Sienna out alive. Everything else is secondary. His men acknowledged. These weren't his father's people. These were men loyal to him personally. Men who understood what Sienna meant to him. Tae-Hyun picked the lock on the loading dock door, slipped inside. The factory was dark, maze-like, full of old equipment and shadows. He moved like a ghost, weapon drawn, every sense on high alert. The first guard never saw him coming. Tae-Hyun's knife found his throat before he could call out. The body dropped silently. 2 more guards in the hallway. Tae-Hyun shot them both. Suppressed weapon barely louder than a cough. They went down. He was a machine, cold, efficient, deadly, because if he let himself think about what they might have done to her, he'd lose control. Completely. 3rd floor. His team reported through comms. We've located her. Tae-Hyun took the stairs 3 at a time. More guards, more bodies. He didn't count, didn't care. Nothing mattered except reaching her. The hallway, a door with 2 guards. They raised weapons. Tae-Hyun was faster. Both dropped. He kicked open the door, and there she was, Sienna, tied to a chair, bruised, exhausted, but alive. Their eyes met across the room, and something in Tae-Hyun's chest cracked wide open. Tae-Hyun, she breathed, like she couldn't quite believe he was real. He crossed to her in 3 strides, dropping to his knees, hands framing her face. I've got you. I've got you. You're safe now. His voice broke. God, Sienna, when I saw the video, I thought I'd lost you. I'm okay, she said, even though she clearly wasn't. I knew you'd come. I knew you wouldn't leave me here. He cut through her bonds with his knife, caught her when she stumbled. She wrapped her arms around him, burying her face in his neck, and Tae-Hyun held her like he'd never let go. We need to move, one of his men said urgently. Building's not secure. Hwang's main force will be here in minutes. An explosion shook the building. They're blowing the exits, someone shouted. Tae-Hyun pulled Sienna to her feet. Can you run? Yes. They ran. Through smoke-filled hallways, over debris, past bodies and chaos. Tae-Hyun kept Sienna's hand in his, refusing to let go even for a second. They burst out into the night air and found Park Jin-woo waiting with a gun. Stop right there, Jin-woo said, the weapon trained on them. You really thought it would be that easy? That you'd just walk out with her? Behind him, more Hwang soldiers emerged. They were outnumbered, outgunned. Tae-Hyun pushed Sienna behind him, raised his own weapon. Let us go, Jin-woo. This is between our families. She's not part of it. She's the only part that matters. Jin-woo's hand was shaking. You humiliated me, destroyed my family's alliance, all because of her. So now, I'm going to take her from you. Eye for an eye. Over my dead body. That can be arranged. The standoff stretched. Tae-Hyun, calculating odds, looking for an opening. Sienna pressed against his back, her heart racing so hard he could feel it. Then a new voice cut through the tension. Put the gun down, Jin-woo. Yoon Seo-yeon stepped into view. She was holding a gun too, but it wasn't pointed at Tae-Hyun. It was pointed at Jin-woo. Seo-yeon? Her brother looked confused. What are you doing? Something I should have done years ago. Choosing myself. Her voice was steady. I loved him, Appa. I loved Tae-Hyun so much I let it destroy me. But he was never mine. And kidnapping her, threatening her, it's not going to make him love me. It's just going to make him hate us more. We had a plan. Your plan. The Hwang's plan. Not mine. She looked at Tae-Hyun, and there was resignation in her eyes. Go. Take her and go. I'll hold them off. Why? Sienna asked from behind Tae-Hyun. Why would you help us? Because you were right. Seo-yeon's smile was bitter. You can't make someone love you. And I'm tired of destroying myself trying. She looked at her brother. I'm sorry, Appa, but I'm done. She fired. Not at them, but at the ground near the Hwang soldiers, creating chaos and cover. Go! She screamed. Tae-Hyun didn't hesitate. He grabbed Sienna and ran for the car his team had waiting. Behind them, gunfire erupted, shouting. Chaos. They dove into the car. Tae-Hyun floored it, tires screeching as they escaped into the night. It wasn't until they were 10 blocks away, certain they weren't being followed, that Tae-Hyun finally let himself breathe. Are you hurt? He pulled over, turned to check her over with shaking hands. Did anyone? I'm okay. I promise. I'm okay. Sienna caught his hands, held them still. You came for me, just like you said you would. Always. He pulled her into his arms, buried his face in her neck. I'll always come for you. No matter what. No matter where. I will burn down the world to get you back. They held each other in that car, both shaking with adrenaline and relief and love. Let's go home, Sienna whispered. Please, I just want to go home. Tae-Hyun drove them back to the penthouse, never letting go of her hand. The aftermath was messy. Park Jin-woo disappeared. Whether killed by the Hwangs for failure or in hiding, no one knew. Yoon Seo-yeon survived the firefight but was hospitalized with gunshot wounds. She turned on the Hwangs, which meant both families now wanted her dead. Tae-Hyun, surprisingly, arranged protection for her. She saved Sienna, he said simply. I pay my debts. Hwang Jun-ho escaped the raid but was severely weakened. The Lee family had struck a major blow against his organization. But the war wasn't over. If anything, it was just beginning. But for now, for this moment, Tae-Hyun and Sienna were safe. Sienna spent 3 days recovering. Tae-Hyun barely left her side. He'd been shot during the escape. Seo-yeon's distraction hadn't prevented all the gunfire, and the bullet had grazed his shoulder. But he'd refused treatment until Sienna had been thoroughly checked by doctors. Now they were both healing. Him with stitches and bandages. Her with bruises that would fade, but nightmares that might not. She woke screaming twice that first night. Each time, Tae-Hyun was there, holding her, whispering that she was safe, that he had her. I keep seeing their faces, she admitted on the third night, curled against his uninjured side. Hwang Jun-ho, Jin-woo, that warehouse. I close my eyes and I'm back there. It's going to take time, Tae-Hyun said, running his fingers gently through her braids. What they did to you, what you survived, it's trauma. Real trauma. But you're here. You're alive. And I'm going to make sure you stay that way. What if they come back? What if they won't? His voice was absolute. My father and I are united now. The entire Lee organization is focused on destroying the Hwangs. They won't get close to you again. I promise. Sienna wanted to believe him. But she'd learned that in this world, promises were fragile things. 1 week after the rescue, Tae-Hyun took her back to the Han River. It was the same spot where they'd walked, where they'd confessed their love. But this time, it was daytime. And Seoul looked different in the sunlight. Less dangerous, almost normal. I have something to ask you, Tae-Hyun said, turning to face her. And then he dropped to one knee. Sienna's breath caught. Sienna Johnson, he said, pulling out a box. Inside was a ring, a stunning diamond in a modern setting, but beside it was also a traditional Korean jade ring. I know this world is dangerous. I know loving me has cost you so much. I know you've been hurt because of me, but I also know that I can't imagine my life without you in it. You make me want to be better. You make me feel human. You make me believe in something beyond violence and power. Tears were streaming down Sienna's face. Marry me, Tae-Hyun continued, his own eyes wet. Not because you're trapped, not because you have no choice, but because I love you more than I've ever loved anything. Because you're my everything. Because I want to build a life with you, a real life, where we're happy and safe and together. Marry me, Sienna? Choose me. Choose us. Yes, Sienna whispered. Yes. 1,000 times yes. He slipped both rings onto her finger. Western diamond and Korean jade, symbolizing the joining of their two worlds. Then he stood and kissed her, and Seoul sparkled around them, and for that perfect moment, everything else fell away. The engagement party was small, intimate, just their families. Sienna's parents, who'd stayed in Korea after the kidnapping, too worried to leave their daughter. Tae-Hyun's mother, who'd quietly supported him through everything. His father, who'd grudgingly admitted that Sienna had earned her place. And Jiwoo, who was ecstatic about gaining an older sister. I knew you two were meant to be, Jiwoo gushed, hugging Sienna. From the first moment Appa mentioned you, I could tell. He never talks about anyone the way he talks about you. He talks about me? Sienna asked, amused. All the time. It's actually kind of annoying. Jiwoo grinned. But also really sweet. He's different with you. Happier. More human. Sienna glanced across the room where Tae-Hyun was talking with her father. The two men had developed a cautious respect. Her father still didn't approve of Tae-Hyun's world, but he couldn't deny how much the younger man loved his daughter. You've made my son better, Park Yeon-soo said quietly, coming to stand beside Sienna. For that, I'll always be grateful. This family needs more light. You're that light. I don't feel very light right now, Sienna admitted. I still have nightmares. I still jump at loud noises. I'm still scared. But you're here. You're fighting. You're choosing to stay despite everything. Tae-Hyun's mother squeezed her hand. That's not weakness. That's strength. Don't ever forget that. The party continued. Toasts were made. Plans for a wedding were discussed. Jiwoo insisted on being a bridesmaid. Sienna's mother cried happy tears, while her father maintained his stern expression but couldn't quite hide his smile. It should have been perfect. It was perfect. Until 3 weeks later. Sienna stood in the penthouse bathroom, staring at the pregnancy test in her hand. Positive. She'd suspected for a few days now. The nausea that wouldn't go away, the exhaustion, the way certain smells made her want to throw up, the missed period. But suspecting and knowing were two different things. She was pregnant, with Tae-Hyun's child. From their first intimate night together, when he'd been recovering from the gunshot, when they'd finally given in to the desire and love that had been building between them for months. Sienna sat on the edge of the bathtub, her hand instinctively moving to her still flat stomach. A baby. She was going to have a baby. In this world. In this dangerous, violent, terrifying world. The thought made her want to throw up for reasons that had nothing to do with morning sickness. She thought about the kidnapping, the gun to her head, the threats, the violence, all the times she'd almost died in the past few months. And now, she was supposed to bring a child into this? An innocent baby who would be born with a target on its back, who would grow up with guards and safe houses and the constant threat of violence. What have I done? Sienna pulled out her phone, pulled up the doctor's app. She'd gone to see an obstetrician yesterday, alone, needing to confirm before she told anyone. The sonogram image stared back at her, barely visible, just a tiny cluster of cells. But real. So real. 6 weeks along, the doctor had said. Healthy. Everything looked good. Congratulations, the doctor had said with a warm smile. When should we schedule your partner to come in? Sienna hadn't answered, had just taken the information packet about prenatal care and left. Now she sat in the bathroom of Tae-Hyun's penthouse. Their penthouse, she corrected herself, and tried to figure out what to do. She looked at her engagement ring. The diamond caught the light, beautiful and expensive, and a symbol of a promise she'd made. Then she looked at the pregnancy test, then at her phone, where a voicemail from her mother waited. She pressed play. Sienna, honey, it's Mom. Your father and I have finally gotten approval for our visa extensions, but we've been talking, and we think it might be time to go back to the States. We've been here almost a year, and while we love spending time with you, we miss home. We're thinking of flying back next month. This is your last chance to come with us, baby. You can still have a safe, normal life. You can finish your degree somewhere else. You don't have to stay in this world if you don't want to. Think about it. We love you. The message ended. Sienna's hand moved to her stomach again. A safe, normal life. In America. Away from the Huangs and the violence and the constant fear. A life where her child could grow up without bodyguards. Without threats. Without watching their father kill people to protect them. But it would also be a life without Tae-Hyun. Sienna pulled out her laptop, opened it to a blank document, started typing. Dear Tae-Hyun, I need you to know that I love you. I will always love you. What we have is real and beautiful and worth everything we've been through. But I can't do this anymore. Her fingers paused on the keyboard. Tears started falling. I thought I was strong enough. I thought love would be enough. But after the kidnapping, after everything I've seen and experienced, I realized that I'm not cut out for your world. I'm scared all the time. I can't sleep. I can't breathe without wondering if today is the day someone tries to kill me again. And I can't bring a child into this. She stopped, deleted that last line. He didn't know about the pregnancy yet. Should she tell him? Would it change anything? Would he let her go if he knew she was carrying his child? Sienna closed the laptop. She couldn't send that, not yet. Not until she figured out what she was going to do. She looked at the pregnancy test again, at the sonogram image, at her engagement ring. 3 symbols of 3 different futures. The test represented a child who deserved safety. The sonogram represented a life growing inside her that she already loved with a fierceness that terrified her. The ring represented the man she loved more than anything. How was she supposed to choose? Over the next few days, Sienna pulled away without meaning to. She was quieter, more distant. When Tae-Hyun tried to make love to her, she made excuses. Still recovering, still tired, still shaken from the kidnapping. All technically true, but not the real reason. The real reason was that she couldn't be intimate with him while keeping this secret, couldn't let him touch her while she was considering leaving. Sienna, what's wrong? He asked one night, catching her hand when she tried to turn away. And don't say nothing. I know you. Something's been off for days. I'm just tired and, she said, which was true. The pregnancy exhaustion was real. And I think I'm still processing everything that happened. Do you want to talk to someone? A therapist? I can arrange. No, I need time. Can you give me that? He looked hurt, but nodded. Whatever you need. Just don't shut me out completely. Please. We're supposed to be in this together. Together. The word felt like a knife. Because how could they be together if she was planning to leave? The final breaking point came 1 week later. Sienna was having coffee with her mother, decaf, though she hadn't explained why when her mother brought up the US again. Your father booked our flights, she said. We're leaving in 2 weeks. I need to know, Sienna. Are you coming with us? I don't know, Mama. You don't know? Her mother's voice was sharp. Baby, you were kidnapped, tortured, almost killed. What more do you need to see that this life isn't safe for you? I love him. Love isn't enough. Her mother grabbed her hand. Love doesn't stop bullets. Love doesn't protect you from his enemies. Love doesn't... She stopped, really looked at Sienna's face. What aren't you telling me? Sienna's hand moved to her stomach. The gesture was unconscious, protective. Her mother's eyes widened. "Oh my God, you're pregnant." Sienna's silence was confirmation enough. "Does he know?" her mother asked. "No." "Sienna," her mother's voice broke. "Baby, you have to tell him. He has a right to know." "I know, but Mama, how can I bring a child into this world? How can I raise a baby knowing that at any moment someone could use them to get to Tae-Hyun? That they could be kidnapped, threatened, hurt?" Her voice cracked. "I'm terrified. I love this baby already, and I'm terrified." Her mother pulled her into a hug, and Sienna finally let herself cry. Really cry. For the first time since the pregnancy test, she let out all the fear and confusion and overwhelming love she felt. "Come home with us," her mother whispered. "Come home to the States. Have the baby there. You can co-parent from a distance, or you can cut ties completely. But you and your child will be safe. Isn't that worth everything?" "But I love him, Mama. I love him so much." "I know, baby. I know. But sometimes love means making the hardest choice. And right now, you have to choose between the man you love and the child you need to protect." Sienna pulled back, wiping her tears. "What would you do? If you were me?" Her mother was quiet for a long moment. "When I was pregnant with you, your father and I were living in a dangerous part of the United States. There was political unrest, violence in the streets, especially on Black people like us. We had a choice: stay where we were, where his family was, where his work was, or leave for somewhere safer, even if it meant starting over with nothing. What did you do? We left. We chose you over everything else. And yes, it was hard. Yes, we lost things, community, family connections, stability, but you were safe. And that was all that mattered." She cupped Sienna's face. "Your child deserves that same choice, that same safety, even if it means sacrificing your happiness." Sienna nodded slowly, the weight of the decision settling on her shoulders. "I need to think," she said. I need time. 2 weeks, Sienna. That's all the time we have. The tickets are booked. After that, we're gone, with or without you. But I pray, that you'll come with us." That night, Sienna lay in bed next to Tae-Hyun, watching him sleep. He looked peaceful like this, young. The harsh lines of his face softened, the cold mask he wore to the world completely gone. His hand rested on her hip, even in sleep, unwilling to let her go. She loved him. God, she loved him so much it physically hurt. But she also loved the tiny life growing inside her, a life that deserved more than violence and fear. Sienna carefully extracted herself from his embrace, went to the living room. The Seoul skyline sparkled outside the floor-to-ceiling windows. Millions of lights, millions of lives. And here she was, trying to figure out how to save her own. She pulled out her phone, opened to a blank text message to Tae-Hyun. Started typing. "I'm pregnant." Deleted it. "I need to tell you something." Deleted it. "I can't do this anymore." Her finger hovered over the send button. Behind her, she heard footsteps. Tae-Hyun appeared, wearing just pajama pants, his hair messy from sleep, concern etched on his beautiful face. "Can't sleep?" he asked, coming to stand beside her. "Too much on my mind." He wrapped his arms around her from behind, and Sienna let herself lean back into his warmth. His hand splayed across her stomach, right where their baby was growing, and she had to bite back a sob. "Whatever it is," he said quietly, "we'll face it together. I promise you, Sienna. There's nothing we can't handle if we're together." But that was the problem, wasn't it? Some things couldn't be handled. Some threats couldn't be neutralized. Some dangers were just permanent. "Tae-Hyun," she started, then stopped. "How did you tell the man you loved that you were thinking of leaving him? That you were carrying his child, but considering taking that child away from him? What is it?" He turned her to face him, his dark eyes searching hers. "Sienna, you're scaring me. Just tell me. Whatever it is, we'll fix it." "Not everything can be fixed," she whispered. "Then we'll survive it, together." His hands cupped her face. "I love you. Nothing is going to change that. Nothing you could say or do would make me stop loving you. So just tell me, please." She looked into his eyes. Those intense dark eyes that had first terrified her, then captivated her, then made her fall completely in love. And she couldn't do it. Couldn't tell him. Not yet. I'm still processing the kidnapping, she said, which wasn't a complete lie. I'm not sleeping well. I'm anxious all the time. I need some time to adjust. Take all the time you need, he said, pulling her close. I'm not going anywhere. And neither are you. We're in this together, remember? You and me against the world. You and me and a baby you don't know about. Sienna thought but didn't say. They went back to bed. Tae-Hyun fell asleep quickly, exhausted, from another long day dealing with the fallout from the Hwang situation. But Sienna lay awake, staring at the ceiling, one hand on her stomach, feeling the weight of an impossible choice. The next morning, Sienna made an appointment to see the obstetrician again. She sat in the waiting room, surrounded by other pregnant women, some with partners, some alone, all of them looking at the future with a mixture of hope and fear. Ms. Johnson? The nurse called her back. The doctor was kind, thorough, did an ultrasound. The baby was bigger now, still tiny, but more defined. Sienna could see the flutter of a heartbeat on the screen. Everything looks perfect, the doctor said with a smile. Have you told the father yet? No, Sienna admitted. I'm not sure what to do. About telling him or about the pregnancy? Both. Neither. I don't know. Sienna stared at the screen, at the tiny life that was half her, half Tae-Hyun. Is it wrong to want to protect your child from their own father's world, even if you love that father? The doctor was quiet for a moment. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you that children deserve safety. And if you don't feel safe, if you don't think you can provide a safe environment for this child, then you have to make the hard choices, even if they break your heart. Sienna nodded, tears streaming down her face. The doctor printed out sonogram photos, handed them to Sienna. Think about what's best for you and this baby. The father's feelings matter, but they're not the only thing that matters. You matter. This child matters. Your safety matters. Sienna left with the photos in her purse and a prescription for prenatal vitamins she'd have to hide from Tae-Hyun. That evening, Sienna's father called. Your mother told me, he said without preamble, about the baby. Dad, I'm not going to tell you what to do, Sienna. You're a grown woman. You've survived things I can't even imagine. You're strong enough to make your own choices. He paused. But I am going to tell you this. That young man, Tae-Hyun, he loves you. I've seen it. He would die for you. But love and safety aren't the same thing. And your child deserves both. I know. Do you? Her father's voice was gentle but firm. Because from where I'm standing, you're trying to have it all. You want the love, the family, the life with him. But you also want safety. And in his world, you can't have both. You have to choose. What if I choose wrong? Then you choose again, and again, until you get it right. But Sienna, whatever you decide, your mother and I support you. If you want to come home with us, we'll help you raise this baby. If you want to stay here, we'll support that too. But you need to make a choice. Because in 2 weeks, we're leaving. And you need to know if you're coming with us. After the call ended, Sienna sat in the penthouse, surrounded by luxury and danger in equal measure. She pulled out the sonogram photo, looked at the tiny blob that was her child, Tae-Hyun's child. Then she pulled out her laptop again, opened that unsent letter, started writing. Dear Tae-Hyun, by the time you read this, I'll be gone. I need you to know that I love you. I will always love you. What we have is real and beautiful and the best thing that's ever happened to me. But I can't stay. I'm pregnant, 6 weeks along. It's yours, obviously it's yours, and I already love this baby more than I thought possible. And that's why I'm leaving. I can't raise a child in your world. I can't spend every day terrified that someone will use our baby to hurt you. I can't watch our child grow up with bodyguards and safe houses and the constant threat of violence. I can't make them live the life you were forced to live, groomed from childhood to be part of something dark and dangerous. I know this makes me a coward. I know you'll hate me for this. I know I'm taking away your choice, your chance to be a father to our child. But I'm also giving our baby a chance at a normal life, a safe life, a life where they don't have to watch their father kill people to protect them, a life where they can just be a kid. I'm going back to the States with my parents. I won't tell you where. I won't contact you. I'll make sure our child knows who their father is, that you love them, that you would have wanted to be part of their life if things had been different. But I can't stay, and I can't bring our child into this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you. I always will. But I love our baby more. Goodbye, Tae-Hyun. Sienna. She read it over 3 times, tears streaming down her face, her hand on her stomach, protecting the life growing there. Then she saved it to her drafts. She couldn't send it yet, not until she was sure, not until she'd made her final decision. But the letter existed now. The choice was becoming real. The next few days were torture. Sienna went through the motions, smiled when Tae-Hyun kissed her, made plans for their wedding that she knew might never happen, pretended everything was fine. But inside, she was dying. Jiwoo came over to discuss bridesmaids' dresses, bouncing with excitement. I've never been in a wedding before. This is so exciting. And when you and Appa have babies, I'm going to be the best aunt ever. Sienna had to excuse herself to throw up. Morning sickness, she told them. Something she ate. Tae-Hyun held her hair back, got her water, looked at her with such concern and love that it broke her heart all over again. Maybe we should postpone the wedding, he suggested, until you're feeling better. There's no rush. No, Sienna said, maybe too quickly. No, I want to get married soon. I want to be your wife. Even if it was a lie. Even if she was already planning to leave. His face lit up. Really? You're sure? I'm sure. He kissed her, tender and loving, and Sienna kissed him back, memorizing the feel of his lips on hers, storing up memories for the lonely years ahead. 1 week before her parents' flight, Sienna made her decision. She was going to leave. She had to. For the baby. For the tiny life that deserved better than this world of violence and fear. She booked her ticket on the same flight as her parents. Started packing, little by little, things Tae-Hyun wouldn't notice were missing. Made arrangements to have her art supplies shipped later. She would leave him a note. The letter she'd written, printed, and left on the bed for when he came home. She would be gone by then, already on a plane to the US, already running, already breaking both their hearts. But it was the right thing to do. She had to believe that. Had to believe that keeping their child safe was worth any amount of pain. 3 days before the flight, Sienna sat in the penthouse living room, staring at her engagement ring. The diamond caught the light, beautiful and perfect, a symbol of a promise she was about to break. She twisted it on her finger, tears falling. I'm sorry, she whispered to the empty room. I'm so sorry. Behind her, she heard the elevator door open. Tae-Hyun was home early. She quickly wiped her tears, tried to compose herself. He walked in, saw her face, and immediately came to her side. What's wrong? He knelt in front of her, hands on her knees. Sienna, what happened? Nothing, I'm fine, just emotional. Probably, she stopped herself before saying, hormones. Probably still processing everything. But Tae-Hyun was looking at her too closely, seeing too much. You're lying, he said quietly. You've been lying for weeks now. I can see it. I know you, Sienna. I know when something's wrong, so please just tell me. Whatever it is, we'll fix it together. Not everything can be fixed, she whispered, echoing her words from before. Then tell me what's broken. Let me try. She looked at him. This beautiful, dangerous, complicated man she loved more than life itself. The father of her unborn child. The man whose world she was about to run from. And she almost told him. Almost pulled out the sonogram photo and showed him. almost confessed everything, and let him help her figure it out. But then her phone buzzed. A news alert. Another gang shooting in Seoul. Hwang family retaliation against Lee family interests. 3 dead. Innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire. Among them, a pregnant woman, 23 years old, shot because she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sienna stared at the photo, at the woman's body being loaded into an ambulance, at the baby that would never be born. And she knew she couldn't stay. Couldn't risk her child ending up like that. Couldn't raise a baby in a world where being connected to Tae-Hyun made you a target. Sienna? Tae-Hyun was still looking at her, waiting for an answer. I'm just tired, she lied one more time. I think I need to rest. Okay. He helped her to the bedroom, tucked her in like she was precious. Kissed her forehead. Get some sleep. I'll wake you for dinner. Tae-Hyun? She caught his hand. I love you. You know that, right? No matter what happens, I love you. He smiled, confused by the intensity. I know, and I love you. Always. He left to let her rest, and Sienna lay there, one hand on her stomach, staring at the ceiling, counting down the days until she destroyed both their worlds. 2 days before the flight, Sienna had everything ready. Her bags packed and hidden in the guest room closet, her ticket printed, the letter on her laptop, ready to print and leave for him. She just had to get through 2 more days. 2 more days of pretending everything was fine. 2 more days of lying to the man she loved. She was sitting on the penthouse balcony, looking out at Seoul when her phone rang. Her mother. Sienna, honey, your father and I want to take you to dinner tonight. A goodbye dinner. Just the 3 of us. Before you have to make your final decision. Mom, I know you've already decided. I can hear it in your voice. You're coming with us. Her mother's voice was sad but relieved. It's the right choice, baby. It's going to hurt like hell, but it's right. How do I do this? Sienna's voice broke. How do I just leave him? How do I walk away from the person I love most in the world? 1 step at a time, 1 moment at a time. And you remember why you're doing it. For that baby. For your child's future. That's how you do it. They made plans for dinner. Tomorrow night. The night before the flight. Which meant tomorrow would be her last full day with Tae-Hyun. The last day before she broke his heart and hers. That night, Tae-Hyun made love to her. It was tender, careful, like he sensed she was fragile. He held her like she was precious. Whispered how much he loved her. How he couldn't wait to make her his wife. How they were going to build an amazing life together. And Sienna held on to him, memorizing every touch, every kiss, every whispered promise. I love you, she told him, over and over. I love you so much. I know, he breathed against her neck. I know, baby. I love you too. So much. Forever. Forever. A promise she was about to break. Afterward, they lay tangled together, Tae-Hyun drawing lazy patterns on her skin. You've been different lately, he said quietly. Distant, like you're somewhere else, even when you're right here with me. I'm just in my head a lot. About what? About our baby. About leaving you. About how I'm going to survive without you. About the wedding. About the future. About everything that's happened. Are you having second thoughts? His voice was careful. About marrying me? No, she said, and it was the truth. I want to marry you more than anything. I want a life with you. Her voice broke. I want everything. With you. Then what's wrong? Because something is. I can feel it. Nothing's wrong, I promise. I'm just processing. That's all. He didn't look convinced, but he let it go. Held her closer. Whatever it is, we'll figure it out. Together. Okay? Okay. She lied. They fell asleep, wrapped around each other, and Sienna let herself have this one last night of peace. Tomorrow, she'd start saying goodbye. Tomorrow, everything would change. Sienna woke up to an empty bed. Tae-Hyun had left a note. Emergency meeting with father. Should be back by noon. I love you. She had the morning to herself. Her last morning in this penthouse. Her last morning in Seoul. She spent it printing the letter, packing the last few items, hiding everything in the guest room. Then she sat in the living room, looking out at the city she'd come to love and hate in equal measure. Seoul had given her so much: art, culture, love, danger, growth. She'd arrived here as a scared graduate student. She was leaving as a woman who'd survived kidnapping, who'd faced down mob bosses, who'd fallen in love with the most dangerous man she'd ever met, and who was pregnant with his child. She pulled out the sonogram photo, looked at it one more time. "I'm doing this for you," she whispered to the tiny blob. "I hope someday you'll understand. I hope someday you'll forgive me." Her phone buzzed. Her mother. "Dinner tonight, 7 p.m., our hotel. Your father and I love you." And from Tae-Hyun. "Meeting running long. I'll be home by 2. Want to take you somewhere special this afternoon. Surprise? Love you." A surprise. Their last afternoon together, and he'd planned something special. Sienna's heart shattered a little more. At 2 p.m., Tae-Hyun came home with that devastating smile. "Get dressed. Something nice. We're going out." "Where?" "It's a surprise." He kissed her. "Trust me." She did trust him. That was the problem. Sienna put on a beautiful dress, emerald green, his favorite color on her, did her makeup, styled her braids, looked in the mirror at the woman staring back. "This is the last time he'll see you," that woman seemed to say. "Make it count." They drove through Seoul, and Sienna memorized everything: the streets, the buildings, the way the afternoon light hit the Han River. Tae-Hyun pulled up to a beautiful garden, traditional Korean, with pavilions and bridges and carefully manicured trees. "What is this place?" Sienna asked. "It's where my grandparents got engaged. My grandfather proposed to my grandmother here 70 years ago." He took her hand. "I wanted to bring you here, to see where our family's love stories begin." He walked her through the garden, pointing out significant spots: where his grandparents had their first kiss, where his father had proposed to his mother, family history woven into the landscape. And then they reached a pavilion overlooking a koi pond, and Tae-Hyun stopped. "I wanted to bring you here because I want to add our story to this place. I want our grandchildren to walk through this garden someday and know that this is where their grandparents came, where we promised to love each other forever." Tears streamed down Sienna's face. "Tae-Hyun, I know we're already engaged. I know we've already said yes. But I wanted to ask you again, properly, in a place that matters." He took both her hands. "Sienna Johnson, will you marry me? Will you build a life with me? Will you grow old with me, right here in Seoul, raising our children and watching our grandchildren play in this garden?" Children. Grandchildren. A future he thought they'd have together. "Yes," Sienna whispered, because what else could she say? "Yes, I'll marry you." He kissed her, and it tasted like salt and goodbye. They spent the afternoon in the garden, taking photos, making promises, building a future that Sienna knew would never exist. And with every minute that passed, every smile, every touch, every "I love you," Sienna died a little more inside, because in just a few hours, she was going to destroy this man, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. At 6:30 p.m., Sienna told Tae-Hyun she was meeting her parents for dinner. "Want me to come?" he offered. "No, it's just family. Girl talk with my mom, you know." She kissed him. "I'll be back by 10. "Okay, I'll make us a late dinner, something special." He smiled. "I love you, Sienna. Today was perfect. Thank you for saying yes. Again." "I love you too," she said, and it was the truest thing she'd ever said. She left, and she didn't look back, because if she did, she'd never leave. Dinner with her parents was quiet. They ate in their hotel restaurant, and nobody said much. What was there to say? "The car to the airport leaves at 5 a.m., her father finally said. "You should be here by 4:30. We'll get you checked in, make sure everything's set." "Okay. You haven't changed your mind?" her mother asked gently. "No, I can't. I can't stay. Not with the baby. Not knowing what could happen." Her mother reached across the table, took her hand. "It's going to be okay, baby. You're making the right choice. It's going to hurt, but you're strong. You'll survive this. Will he? Sienna's voice broke. Will Tae-Hyun survive this? Her father was quiet for a long moment. I don't know, but that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to that child, to keeping your baby safe. That's what mothers do. They sacrifice everything, even their own happiness, for their children. After dinner, Sienna's parents walked her to a taxi. We'll see you tomorrow morning, her mother said, hugging her tight. 4:30 a.m., don't be late. I won't. The taxi drove her back to the penthouse, and Sienna sat in the back seat, one hand on her stomach, tears streaming silently down her face. This was it. Her last night in Seoul. Her last night with Tae-Hyun. The last night before she destroyed everything. Tae-Hyun had cooked. The penthouse smelled amazing. Korean food, her favorites, dishes he'd learned to make just for her. Surprise, he said with that devastating smile. I know I'm not as good a cook as my mom, but I wanted to do something special for you. They ate by candlelight, looking out at Seoul's glittering skyline. And Sienna memorized everything. The way he laughed, the way his eyes crinkled when he smiled, the way he looked at her like she was his entire world. After dinner, he pulled her onto the couch, wrapped his arms around her. Today was perfect, he murmured into her hair. I can't wait for the rest of our lives. Can't wait to marry you, start a family, grow old together. Family, start a family. If only he knew they'd already started. Tae-Hyun, Sienna said quietly. If something happened, if I had to leave for some reason, would you understand? He pulled back to look at her. What do you mean? I mean, if circumstances changed, if I had to go back to the States, would you hate me? Nothing's going to happen, he said firmly. You're not leaving. We're getting married in 3 months. We're building a life here, together. But if I did, Sienna, why are you talking like this? His eyes searched hers, worry creeping in. Are you thinking about leaving? No, I'm being hypothetical. Well, hypothetically, if you tried to leave, I'd come after you. I'd fly to the States, I'd find you, and I'd convince you to come back. Because you're mine, Sienna, and I'm yours. And nothing is going to change that. His words were a knife to her heart. I love you, she whispered. I love you too. So much. More than anything. He kissed her forehead. Stop worrying. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to be okay. I promise. Promises. So many promises. All about to be broken. At 2 a.m., Tae-Hyun was fast asleep. Sienna carefully extracted herself from his arms, stood beside the bed, looking down at him. He looked peaceful, young. The harsh lines of his face softened in sleep. She wanted to memorize this, wanted to remember him like this, peaceful and whole, before she shattered him. Quietly, she went to the guest room, retrieved her bags, placed the printed letter on his pillow where he'd find it when he woke up. Then she called a taxi, asked them to wait downstairs. She took one last look around the penthouse, at the life they'd built together, at the future they'd never have. Her hand moved to her stomach. I'm sorry, she whispered. To both of you, I'm so sorry. Then she picked up her bags and left. The taxi ride to her parents' hotel felt like a funeral procession. Sienna stared out the window at Seoul passing by, in the city that had become home, the life she was abandoning. Her phone buzzed, a text from Tae-Hyun sent in his sleep or maybe by muscle memory. I love you. She couldn't respond. If she did, she'd turn around. She'd go back. She'd tell him everything and let him help her figure it out. But that would be selfish. Her child deserved better. At the hotel, her parents were waiting in the lobby, bags packed. Ready? Her father asked gently. No, but I'm here. They loaded into the car service her father had arranged, headed for the airport, and with every mile between her and the penthouse, Sienna felt a piece of her heart tear away. At 7 a.m., Tae-Hyun woke up to an empty bed. At first, he didn't think anything of it. Sienna was probably in the bathroom, or making coffee, or Then he saw the letter on her pillow. His hand shook as he picked it up. By the third line, he was on his feet. By the fifth line, he was getting dressed. By the end, he was calling his men, his voice raw with panic and fury and devastation. Find her. Find Sienna Johnson. Now. Check the airport. Check her parents' hotel. Check everywhere. Find her. He was still holding the letter, reading it over and over, the words burning into his brain. I'm pregnant. I can't stay. I love our baby more. Goodbye. No, he whispered. No. Oh, Sienna, what did you do? He grabbed his keys, ran for the elevator. He had to stop her. Had to find her. His phone rang. One of his men. We found her, sir. Incheon Airport, with her parents. They're boarding now. Flight to Los Angeles, then connecting to Washington, D.C. They'll be in the air in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Tae-Hyun looked at his watch, looked at the traffic outside, calculated the drive time to the airport. He'd never make it. Should we stop them, sir? We can delay the flight. Hold her at the airport. She's carrying your child. No. The word tore out of him. No. Let her go. Sir? I said let her go. He was shouting now, tears streaming down his face. If she wants to leave, if she thinks that's what's best for our child, then let her go. Don't force her. Don't make her stay if she doesn't want to. He hung up, stood in his penthouse, surrounded by reminders of her everywhere he looked. And Lee Tae-Hyun, heir to a criminal empire, a man who'd killed without hesitation, who'd burned down enemies and built an empire of fear, fell to his knees and wept. Sienna sat at the gate, her hand on her stomach, tears streaming silently down her face. Any minute now, Tae-Hyun would find the letter. Any minute now, he'd come bursting through those doors, demanding she stay, refusing to let her go. Part of her hoped he would. Part of her hoped he'd fight for her, for them, for their baby. But as the minutes ticked by and boarding began, no one came. Final boarding call for Flight 284 to Los Angeles, the announcement echoed. Her mother took her hand. It's time, baby. Sienna stood on shaking legs, looked back one more time at the terminal, hoping against hope to see him running toward her. But there was nothing, no one. He'd let her go. She boarded the plane, found her seat, buckled in. And as the plane taxied down the runway, as Seoul fell away beneath her, Sienna pressed her forehead against the window and whispered one last goodbye. I love you, Lee Tae-Hyun. I will always love you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The plane lifted into the sky, and two hearts broke across the distance. His in Seoul, hers somewhere over the Pacific, and their baby growing in the space between. Back in the penthouse, Tae-Hyun stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows, the letter crumpled in his fist, watching planes take off from Incheon Airport in the distance. One of those planes carried the woman he loved, and the child he'd never met. His hand pressed against the glass, as if he could reach through the distance and pull her back. I would have protected you both, he whispered to the empty room. I would have changed everything. Why didn't you let me try? But the answer was in the letter he couldn't stop rereading. Because I love our baby more. And he understood. God help him, he understood. Because if he'd been in her place, he would have made the same choice. I love you, he said to the empty sky, to the woman flying away from him. And I love our child, even if I never get to meet them, even if you never come back. I love you both, forever. Will Sienna survive as a single mother in America? Will Tae-Hyun ever meet his child? Can love survive this impossible distance? Has she made the right choice or the biggest mistake of her life? And what happens when the Hwang family discovers that Lee Tae-Hyun's greatest weakness, his unborn child, exists somewhere in America? Drop your comments right now. Are you Team Sienna or Team Tae-Hyun? Do you think she made the right choice? What would you do in her situation? Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on all notifications because part 4 is going to be insane. Comment what time it is, where you are, and whether you think she should have stayed or left. This story isn't over, not by a long shot. See you in the next one.